Coming up on Mountain News this morning, soon Commonwealth schools could be requiring a moment of silence thanks to a bill that made its way through the House. And Knott County will see an addition to its upcoming primary election ballot this May.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. We're coming up on 6:30 on Friday, February 2nd. Now let's send it over to meteorologist Tim Drawbridge for a look at your fairly nice weekend outlook.
Fairly nice is a great way to describe it. Bright and warmer than what we have right now. 43 last check outside our studios here at WYMT. And yes, we've got some cloud cover issues with a few sprinkles, maybe a quick passing shower. But you know what? Remember a couple weeks ago? Okay, maybe you don't want to, but we were dealing with cold and snow. We'll take this. Above average temperatures continue as we head through the weekend, and the quiet pattern continues in the next week. 30s and 40s this morning. Only difference with those of us that are in the 30s, our winds have calmed down. We've got a light southerly wind here from Hazard and Jackson up to Moorhead and over into Lexington, as well as Louisville. And that's the reason why we're in the 40s. Pinpoint Doppler radar, quiet now. Going to be hard to see these very fine particles in the atmosphere today to produce the sprinkles and that quick passing shower. Drier air, not too far away, coming in as we head through the weekend, and drier air equals a lot of sunshine. All right, check out the planner as we head through your Friday. Partly sunny, quick passing shower, few sprinkles this morning into the early afternoon, a high of 49. Got our hello to Breathitt County and the rest of the First Alert 7-day forecast coming up in just about 10 minutes. Olivia?
Tim, thank you. A 2-year-old is dead and 2 people are behind bars following a crash along I75 in Whitley County. The crash happened around 12:30 Wednesday night near mile marker 18. We are told Matthew Crowley and Jana Vorwerk were traveling south along the highway when they hit a vehicle driven by Alexis Flores. The impact caused Flores' car to flip and ejected her 2-year-old child. The toddler died at the scene while Flores was taken to the hospital for severe injuries. 3 other children in Flores' car were treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Crowley and Vorwerk are now facing several charges in connection to the crash, including murder. In Laurel County, a woman faces a criminal abuse charge. 38-year-old Jamie Sester was arrested yesterday after an investigation determined she reportedly exposed a 4-year-old to methamphetamine. The child later tested positive for the drug and other narcotics. Sester is charged with first-degree criminal abuse and is being held in the Laurel County Detention Center. Kentucky is making progress in its battle with drug addiction, but new threats keep emerging and the efforts require a sustained effort. Van Ingram has headed up Kentucky's Office of Drug Control Policy since shortly after it was created in 2004. He says Kentucky is better positioned now than then to deal with addiction issues, but it still requires people seeking help in communities that support people in recovery.
20 years after you started in this position, are you encouraged or discouraged?
Depends what day it is. Some days I am pretty discouraged. Others we take pride in some small victories that we see. But look, 20 years ago, we had treatment waiting lists of 4 to 6 to 8 weeks. Today we can get people within a residential program if they qualify within hours. So we have, since Governor Beshear's been in, we've increased drug treatment beds by 50%.
Ingram also says there are new threats, including a substance called xylazine that is used in veterinary medicine and is now showing up mixed with fentanyl. Yesterday, the Kentucky House of Representatives passed their version of the state budget. The budget cleared the House Appropriations and Revenue Committee Wednesday. The more than $120 billion budget includes increases in education, healthcare, and infrastructure spending, and multiple other areas. It spends about $12 billion less than Governor Beshear's initial plan. Some Democrats say it doesn't do enough to help teachers. Republicans say a separate bill puts nearly $1 billion into pension funds. The House budget will now head to the Senate. Governor Andy Beshear says members of the Kentucky National Guard were at the same base where 3 service members were killed over the weekend. Defense officials say Iran-backed militants launched the deadly drone attack, killing 3 U.S. soldiers and injuring at least 34 troops. Governor Beshear says all Kentucky soldiers at the base are accounted for and were either not injured or have since returned to duty. In response to the attack, President Biden has reportedly approved a series of strikes against multiple targets. Congressman Hal Rogers is expected to head back to Capitol Hill next week. He's been recovering from a car crash last month. The dean of the House released a statement yesterday saying, quote, "In Eastern Kentucky, we are known for our resilience and mountain grit. When times get tough, we get tougher. And it's that Appalachian inspiration from back home that is driving me through this recovery to get back to Capitol Hill for our people." Rogers is 86 years old and is running for re-election this year. Wednesday, the Kentucky House of Representatives passed House Bill 96 by a vote of 79 to 17. It would require moments of silence or reflection at the start of each school day. Representative Dan Pfister says the House bill would ask parents to give their children guidance on how to spend a moment or two of silence at the beginning of each school day, whether it be prayer, silent reflection, or nothing at all.
We do not want the schools to mandate that they have to pray or that they can't pray or what have you. Let it be a personal thing and let the family, the parents, instruct them in that direction.
House Bill 96 will move on to the Senate chamber, where Representative Dan Pfister says he feels confident that the bill will pass as is. The May primary election is just a few short months away, and officials say there will be an addition to the ballot in Knott County. Following a petition to get a wet-dry vote on the ballot, County Clerk Reese Cornett says they have counted and confirmed that the petition did have enough signatures. We talked with 2 community members who have very different opinions on the issue.
The fact that our citizens have to drive 20 plus miles to have something to drink, not only are you losing money, you're drastically increasing the risk that one of those people is going to drive home drunk.
It's a progression. I think it's an attack against the family, and it has an effect. And as I realize some people say, well, I can control, but it is a controlling substance. And so it really concerns me for our families.
The primary election is May 21st. Kentucky Community and Technical College System President Ryan Quarles issued a response to a state auditor's report issued in December. Quarles says he will focus, quote, swiftly and keenly on the necessary remedies to move KCTCS forward. He says they have taken some actions to address the findings. That includes returning $24 million in excess funds collected from the colleges by the system office. A full update on the state audit will be presented in March. Union College in Barberville has an interim president. Dr. DJ Washington will replace Dr. Marsha Hawkins, who is retiring June 30th. Washington is a 2003 Union alumni and vice chairman of Union's Board of Trustees. He is currently the director of employer and regional engagement at the University of Notre Dame. A search to replace Hawkins long-term continues. It's a special weekend for several Kentucky natives. Tyler Childers, Silas House, and Geno Seal are all nominated for a Grammy. Julia Sandor got a chance to talk with 2 of the Kentuckians about what it means to be a part of something so special.
I will wait for you.
From Kentucky to California,
Ashes and boughs.
Tyler Childers may be on repeat for some travelers. But for Kentucky natives Silas House and Geno Seal, one song holds a special place in their hearts.
You could put Tyler's lyrics on a page, and they're always going to stand the test of time, by themselves. As a whole, it just feels like a great love song that represents a love that we all can only hope to experience one day.
In Your Love, co-written by Seal, is nominated for Best Country Song. And the love story showcased on the screen, created with the help of Silas House, was nominated for Best Music Video.
We made this video for LGBT people in rural places who've never seen themselves in a video before.
Both nominees never imagined they'd be making their way across the country for the Grammys. But with an influx of letters and outpouring love on social media, it's the community's support that's been their biggest reward.
The response has been overwhelming, and being a part of something that has changed people's lives is deeply moving.
For them, this is more than just music. It's about showing just how complex Kentucky really is.
I don't know, it's a chance to show the world that, like, maybe we're not those stereotypical things that you may think of our region, right? There are, good human beings here, and we have a lot to offer to the world.
Julia Sandor, WKYT.
Like a team.
And from Damascus, Syria, to several years studying at different colleges, to Harlan, Kentucky, Dr. Abdul Duhan is celebrating 50 years practicing in Harlan. WYMT's Chandler Wilcox talked to Duhan about why he has stayed in the mountains.
12 years into working in the medical field in Harlan, Dr. Duhan was faced with a choice.
I was debating if I should leave or not, and I changed my mind, decided to open my own practice. And I started my own private practice back in 1986.
Duhan has kept that practice running since. He reportedly does not take many days off either. He says his love for his patients is too strong.
Everybody is friendly. The practice is excellent. There is a very good hospital next door who I have admitting privileges with.
Duhan says people tried to scare him from coming to Harlan. He says that reputation is incorrect.
There's an image about Harlan that it's a mean, tough town. It used to be called Bloody Harlan some years ago. But that's an image that should not be really used as a standard for it.
And the doctor says his personal experience proves it.
The people here are extremely pleasant, extremely friendly, work with you. If you treat them well, they will be very kind to you. And I can say that from personal experience. After 50 years, I've never been attacked by anyone.
Working with him and honoring him, Harlan County officials and community members expressed their appreciation for the man they call Doc. Officials honored Duhan with a proclamation for his work.
And I'm really grateful that our county judge, who is a very good friend of mine, recognized my 50 years of association, and I'll call it service.
50 years in and 83 years of age, Duhan says he still does not have a timeline for when he will retire. In Harlan, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
Dr. Duhan specializes in internal medicine and pulmonary disease. He says he began his career at the Daniel Boone Clinic.
And a good Friday to you. Temperatures as we get you out the door on a Friday morning are in the 30s and yes, the 40s. And when we have the 40s, we've got somewhat of a light southerly or southwesterly wind versus the rest of us dealing with a calm wind. The pinpoint Doppler radar right now, it's quiet. Maybe tracking a quick passing shower, a few sprinkles as we head from the morning into the afternoon. Otherwise, drier air comes in just in time for the weekend. And drier air means beautiful sunshine. If you loved yesterday, the pristine blue sky, the beautiful UK blue sky, yeah, it's going to be just like that for tomorrow. Partly sunny, quick passing shower, a few sprinkles, and a forecast high up close to 49. More news and weather coming up after the break.